What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the content we have coming out. And for this video, we're going to be diving into Infinite Frontier, Batman, Superman, issue number 16. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the Infinite Frontier line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything related to the Infinite Frontier line. Now, this issue is really unique because it's telling us two different stories at the same time. The top half of this comic is all related to Superman as it runs throughout the entire book. And then the bottom half is related to Batman. And at the end of this comic, it all comes together. And what it's really doing is telling us stories of the infinite possibilities that is the Infinite Frontier. And so we're seeing two stories that exist inside the DC landscape somewhere in some dimension on some Earth. Now, this is written by Gene Yang, pencils is by Ivan Reis, inks is by Danny Miki, and colored by Sabian Rich. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Okay, so to simplify this breakdown, we're going to start one story at a time. So we'll start with the Superman story. And getting into this issue, we get the classic tale, a ship coming to Earth. A young Clark discovering his heritage and his extraordinary powers, which he vowed to use for good. This is the classic Superman story that we all know and love, and it picks us up in Metropolis. All the citizens have gathered because the city's latest technological achievement has arrived. And we see Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen all reporting there for the Daily Planet. And this is where we hear the mayor talk about this new Omni battery, a never-ending source of energy that can power all the homes and businesses. And he goes to welcome on stage the individual who's responsible for bringing this creation to fruition, but this is when we see the arrival of the unknown wizard, claiming that the Omni battery was his idea and that it should be him up on that stage. He attacks everything, and with all of the chaos breaking out, Superman runs to get on his suit, to do what needs to be done, and the unknown wizard and all of his robots are wreaking destruction, and this is when we see Superman come flying in, letting him know that it's enough. But the unknown wizard is not fazed and sends all of his robots after Superman. Superman huffing and taking out all of this guy's robots like it's absolutely nothing. And this is when Lois Lane runs over because she recognizes the individual known as the unknown wizard. And ripping off his mask, we see that it is none other than Lex Luthor. Now, Lex Luthor did this to try to remain anonymous, because he's saying that charlatan from Gotham City steals all of his ideas. Not just the Omni battery, but every innovation that she has introduced has came from his mind. And Lois tells him that he sounds insane. But Luthor goes on and says that the Omni battery isn't just a battery at all. It's harvested from an organism. You have a keen eye for the truth, so go find the truth. And this is when Lex Luthor makes one last attack, sending what's left of his robots to try to attack Superman, only for them all to get broken and smashed into pieces. And we see Superman telling him that he needs to surrender. And he does. Super quick, without much hesitation at all. And as Superman goes to talk to Lois Lane to make sure everybody's okay, this is when we see the arrival of Martha Wayne, the woman of the hour. And not only do we see Martha Wayne, but we also see Bruce Wayne cowering in the rubbish. Now, Lois Lane immediately asks about the claims from Lex Luthor about stealing the innovations, and she immediately denies these things. And we see Bruce Wayne come up and try to have a conversation with Lois Lane, trying to be the playboy, philanthropist, billionaire that he is. But in this situation, he's also not Batman. It's seeming that Batman may not exist within this Superman timeline. and we see Superman take off, returning as Clark Kent because he's seeming a little bit jealous that Bruce Wayne's hitting on Lois here. And off to the side, we see Alfred as well, but it seems there seems to be some kind of relationship going on between Martha and Alfred. Now, back at the Daily Planet, Clark Kent starts doing some investigations. Investigations to exactly who Bruce Wayne is, who Martha Wayne is. And they talk about the tragedy that happened 15 years ago when Thomas Wayne was shot dead in an alleyway and Martha and Bruce were left alive. Traumatized by this, Bruce Wayne hasn't really been able to hold down any kind of real work even inside his own family's company. While Martha Wayne has really been doing everything she can to make sure that the world is a better place. Now, Lex Luthor is claiming that she steals every innovation that she's done, but they're really not sure exactly what's what right now. And this is when Lois Lane gets a call from Bruce Wayne with an invitation to his manor. And so she accepts this invitation and brings along with her Jimmy and Clark. And while they're inside here, they start looking around a little bit. Lois gets an opportunity to go off to the side and do some investigating on what's going on here, only to be met by Alfred. And Alfred is not happy. And Superman, hearing that Lois is in danger, comes crashing through the wall. And this is when we see Alfred recognizing not only that Superman comes running anytime Lois Lane is in danger, but he was prepared for Superman's arrival. And this is when we see Alfred start to turn into Bane. But then we see something happening with reality and Lois Lane falling through a hole in reality. And this is where it takes us to the Batman side of this. And after Batman witnessing the senseless murder of his mother and father in an alleyway, young Bruce vowed to fight crime. And like any good Batman story, this story starts us at Arkham Asylum. And at the gate of Arkham Asylum, we have a truck that's trying to leave. But inside this truck, we see Penguin, Jones, we see the Joker, and someone they refer to as the Spider Lady. Now, the guard recognizing that this is the Joker, because the Joker couldn't hold it together even for 10 seconds, she has to zap the guard and they make their getaway. But as they're making their getaway, they look in the rearview mirror only to see Batman and Robin and the old school Batmobile. So we have to assume this is an older version of Batman, and that makes this Robin Dick Grayson. And so as this hot pursuit goes about, Batman ends up jumping on top of the vehicle, causing them to start swerving all over the road and crash off to the side. And as Batman and Robin come up to the vehicle, Joker and the rest open up the back hatch and start opening up with guns. Batman blocking all of this and Robin using his Robin rings to hit both Joker and the Penguin. And this is where we see Spider Lady trying to make her getaway, only for Batman to wrap her up, and she pleads with Batman to listen to her. Now, she's the Spider Lady, Queen of Metropolis. Queen of Metropolis's underworld. And Batman is right now really confused on why she is in this city, why she is even here to begin with. Now she's saying whatever happened 2 years ago at the Daily Planet building, it's somehow connected to Arkham's Asylum. They're doing something to the inmates with inside there, horrific things. And that their world is growing darker and more dangerous by the day. There's a secret society behind all of this. And Arkham's warden is a part of it. Now, with all of them caught, they call the police and the police come and escort them back to Arkham Asylum. But with somehow in transportation, the Spider Lady was able to get away, to make her escape. And Batman, thinking that there may be something to what she was saying, he goes up to check the warden's office to see exactly what's up there. Sneaking in through a window, they see the warden's office is full of all kinds of oddities and rarities, to include Superman's spaceship that brought him here as a child. And Robin immediately recognizes this as some kind of weird technology. And this is when the warden makes his arrival and lets everybody know, that these are just oddities that he's gotten from benefactors and so on and so forth throughout the years. But before the warden can even wipe his glasses and put them back on, Batman and Robin have already jumped out the window. In Arkham Asylum, we have the Joker, Penguin, and Jones sitting here in their jail cell, and Jones and Penguin, both of their blood starts to boil. Their skin starts to boil. And in the Batcave, we have Batman looking up what exactly happened. Now, Batman being who he is, judging by the damage, the rocket ship's hull was punctured by some kind of crystalline meteorite. We know this to be Kryptonite. And so it ended up killing Superman in his infant age. And so whoever this anonymous buyer purchased the rocket from the estate sale that the Kents had in Kansas. And whoever that is must be the benefactor, whoever gifted it to the warden. Now, Batman is really unsure right now on what is going on, but he has been tracking the flight logs of the warden, and the warden has been going to the Arctic Circle. And while that's not a crime either, it is highly suspicious. So we see Batman and Robin hop into their state-of-the-art Batwing, which this is state-of-the-art for the time era, definitely. And we see them make their arrival. And upon making their arrival, they're immediately met by tons of goons. And this is almost insulting to Robin because they're essentially opening the front door to them. Like, they don't even have to break in. So they're gonna make them pay for their arrogance. And they start laying some haymakers down on some bad guys. And in the middle of all of this, their reality starts to also warp. And we see Lois Lane from the Superman story falling through into the Batman story. And Batman recognizing Lois Lane as the Spider Lady. And this is when we're taken to Earth Zero in the Temporal Spear. And something's going on with one of the satellites. Now, Superman, asking the question, why can't one of your technicians or someone else come fix the satellite? Why are me and why is Superman and Batman going up here to fix this? And this is when Batman lets him know that it's not a malfunction. It's an infestation. And this is when they see the satellite covered and wrapped in an old 35mm film that you would see on a movie reel. And this is when we see the robotic beings make their arrival, letting Superman and Batman know for the scourge of trespassing upon the archive of worlds. We're here to annihilate you. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This issue was really different. It was a lot of fun. We had two stories that were completely separate, and we see them merging into one, becoming a whole other story in itself. So I have to say, it's very unique, very creative writing. The artwork was absolutely phenomenal. I have to say, this is one of the better Infinite Frontier lines so far. I'm really excited to see where this story's going and see how many different scenarios we can really get out there. Because I'm really interested in seeing some writers' perspectives on different multiverses, different universes, different Earths, different Supermen. We have an infinite possibility right now, and why not use it? But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next breakdown.